Hi guys, so this week's video was supposed to be a little bit different and I'm having some technical difficulties, so I thought we'd do something that felt more appropriate, more true to where I'm at now, and just keep it honest and have a vlog day of sharing, recovering after you've had several anxious days. And maybe it's stuff that like you've worked yourself into. Maybe it's been triggered by something specific, you know, the everyday things that like you can't avoid, you can't necessarily remove, but maybe you can kind of take control back over. So I'm literally in the last hour, my body has started to feel like I just put it through the ringer. I feel like I'm sick and I'm not. Just a little bit congested, a little bit of an itchy, scratchy throat. I've been sleeping terribly. I've had coffee the last couple of days. I haven't necessarily set myself up for the most success, but we're gonna do this kind of together. I'm gonna share some of the things that I'm doing tonight and just over the next 24 hours to really practice grace with myself. But yeah, I've just been super analytical and super not the best headspace over the last couple of days, and I've had to set a few boundaries. So I want to talk about those first, was to create an auto response for my email. It seems like it's such a simple thing, but as a creator, as somebody who does this for a living and is trying to grow this into, you know, more than like my part-time income and make it my full-time space, one of the things that I find just really exhausting is consistently having to, you know, justify my worth and my value to somebody else. And I think that kind of stems a bit from being female and being somebody who was curvier when I was younger. There's a lot, it's not one of those isolated things, like the childhood trauma of it all is coming into play. And so as a creator, and especially somebody who kind of looks like a micro influencer to most people, it ends up being one of those things where you get just a lot of pitches that demean your worth and a lot of conversations where you're like, is this worth my time and energy? So one of the things that I've done to set a boundary for myself to really kind of recheck and realign and get myself in better space is to set up an auto email responder. I know this won't work for everybody, but it was a way to fix the problem for me. It was a space in my life, in my business, in my everyday that I couldn't avoid. I needed it to be healthier. I needed to figure out how to fix it, and it was consistently triggering mental issues for me. So I set up a reply that kind of gave the general information that I needed to give out, that really like told people what they needed to know, so that it wasn't as though I wasn't replying. For those of you who are like, why do you get so many emails? What do you like? Why is this a big deal? I get a lot of, we want you to be an ambassador for our brand, or because we have the podcast and that's coming back. You'll get brands who have people they want to pitch to be on it, or authors, or, you know, anybody who's got publicity and is promoting something. So I get a lot of pitches, just a lot of emails that aren't necessarily productive or going to lead to something. It's a lot of noise, and you can't unsubscribe for everything, and sometimes there are gems in there, and sometimes there are people that I'm like, I really want to talk to you, but I literally can't think about 6 months from now because I'm trying to deal with content for the next 3. Otherwise, we're moving on. So that is something that I've done for myself. But tonight, as we continue about the evening, I have just decided that I would practice some grace for myself, which is why we're talking here. Because I feel like sometimes we forget that when we come out of these states of just heavy anxiety for a few days, that when we go through them, we actually put our bodies through the trauma. Like we put our minds through it. Our minds and our bodies are so connected in the way that we work that we can actually literally put ourselves through a good chunk of the trauma. And we don't realize it, but we're so tired because we put ourselves through that process. And the other thing with it is you become addicted to those kind of emotions. So I was going to go for a run today, but I've decided that my body really needs the rest. So we're going to honor that. I think I'm going to make some celery juice. Lord help us. So I am excited to do that, although I didn't get the amount of celery I thought I was going to get. So we're going to have to get some more of that before the gym tomorrow. But yeah, we're going to start this evening. We're gonna make it chill. No, my Apple Watch is like, do you want to work out? No, I don't want to work out. I do want to work out. I would love to go for a run. I feel like that would be so great. But I also, my body's like, could you not? And I also don't know whether or not, because I got the second COVID shot last week, what my sensitivity is to things. I've had a couple of days where I'm like, am I about to start my period? And I checked my app earlier to see. And it says I'm not, but that kind of means absolutely nothing. So we're gonna do the fun things. I might edit some photos. Literally, my brain is kind of wiped, but I am gonna prep myself for tomorrow. One of the things that I've been doing is a little bit of a take on the Skinny Confidentials mix of things and then a bit of my own. And so I will prep this the night before and I write out music, podcast / book if I'm going to listen to anything. Sometimes this just prompts me to make time for it because I'm really good at not making time for the things that I actually want to do because I feel like I don't have time, and then I look at my screen time and I'm like, you have time to do that. And then my workout, and I will write that out. I'm going to do a gratitude section. Now I do the 5-minute journal, 5-minute gratitude journal, and one of the things I used to really do like every day in my journaling time is to write out my gratitude. But one of the things I found recently that I need and that really helps me the most when I do gratitude is to actually write I am grateful for. Sometimes just filling in the blank of the list doesn't trigger my mind to go through the thoughts of gratitude. It just feels like I'm writing a to-do list. So I will write like my 1, 2, 3, and then I will write my to-do list, and I will write all of the miscellaneous things. And guys, this is how I calm myself, is to give myself some time to just recenter, figure it out. It's literally the little things, guys. Self-care is not major, but some days it's lotion and I need to shave. And being able to check that off my list tomorrow will make me happy. It'll also remind me to do it. Actually, at the point in the day where I would start to unwind, and I'm going to take you through that routine. My do not disturb kicks in automatically at 7 p.m. I have the little sunrise alarm clock you can see over there. Asher does a really great job waking me up, so it's fine. I did end up drinking some tea. I ate a really good dinner. I edited some photos. I also had some matcha ice cream, which was really great. That recipe will be on the blog soon. But before I can start the unwind process, I need to deal with this, which is the chaos of today, because we did have a shoot day, which means I packed, and then when I got back, I literally was riding with my photographer, so everything was out in her car. So when I came back, I kind of just set it all down, and then I ran back out to shoot some more photos and came back in and was dealing with everything else. So this is the end of the day chaos, along with packages that came in. So I'm gonna clean that, and then once I get that clean, I'm gonna start the tone for the rest of the evening. I'm going to put in some lavender essential oil. It is one of my favorites. For me, so much of the unwinding process is about having all of the subconscious triggers that really work for you. And we're gonna bust out the acupressure mat. If you've never used one of these, they are amazing. They're great for all kinds of things. For the longest time, I just had it at my desk in my chair to sit on, but it's also really great for releasing endorphins in your body and just to kind of help release the muscle. So I carry a lot of my stress in my upper body and shoulders. I'm starting to carry some of it in my lower back, I think, but I like to use that to kind of break that up. So between that and the heating pad, that'll help release some of it. So the goal for me is to make sure that any of the stress that I have been carrying over the last couple of days, now that my body is realizing just how exhausted it is by the anxious, like, I don't even know what to call it, but it was just like a real massive anxiety wave for a couple of days. Now that we're on the other side of it, I really want to keep my body kind of in that happier phase, in that calmer phase, and whatever it needs to be. So I thought about getting up and going for a run in the morning, and I will probably do that at home. I don't want to overdo it. Like, I really want to give my body a chance to sleep because I am so very tired at this point. So let's do a little time lapse. Let's do some cleaning. Okay, so I've officially made it to my bed. I think things are mostly organized. It's taking me like a little over an hour, a little under an hour to kind of get myself situated and unwound, but I think I'm just gonna drink my sparkling water, done my skincare. I'm testing out a new fake tan, so we'll see how that goes on my face, and just really enjoy my evening. But the last thing I'm gonna do is take my probiotics. One of the things that I'm not always great about is taking my full vitamins that live in the kitchen, and I leave them in the kitchen specifically because they're the ones that, like, if I don't take them with food, I always feel like I get really nauseous. But my probiotics, it's technically a symbiotic, so it's a pre and a probiotic, are something I can take whenever, and I typically like to take them at night just to help with digestion overall. But the thing with taking these is that for mental health specifically, 80% of your serotonin lives in your gut. So a lot of times when we eat really high inflammatory diets, we eat in a way that doesn't really align with our body, but also just makes our gut an inhospitable place for, you know, all the good bacteria and all the things that we need. We're really not helping our mental health. But I'm gonna take these guys that are falling. I'm going to cuddle one of the pups that's in my bed. And yeah, thank you guys for joining me for this very real, very raw vlog. I mean, we're in it today, so I hope wherever you're at, I know that getting to that point today and realizing that my body had just been through the emotional trauma and what I needed to do if I wanted to save myself mentally and calm the hell down and not actually lose my shit, that I was gonna have to get it together in a different way. I was gonna have to acknowledge that things weren't working and I needed to make some changes. So I think it's gonna be a good night of rest. I'm not gonna set an alarm. I know Asher will probably still wake me up in the morning, but I'm gonna give myself that gift and practice a little bit of grace and, you know, not pretend that I know it all and have it all together all the time, because that would be a lie. So I love you guys. It is a good day to find something good in your day, and I hope you all will come back for the next video. Make sure you subscribe, and I will see you all again on Thursday. Bye guys.